Hello everyone and welcome back to ImTechnos. In today's session, we will take a closer look at human evaluations within Amazon Bedrock. If you ever wondered how Amazon measures the quality of AI model outputs or how humans play a key role in evaluating LLMs like Claude, Titan, or Jurassic, this video is for you. By the end of this video, you will know what human evaluations are, how Amazon's internal and external workforce contributes, and how you can run a hands-on evaluation demo right inside Amazon Bedrock. So let's dive in. Amazon Bedrock is AWS fully managed generative AI service that offers access to leading foundation models from different providers. To help you select the best foundation model for your use case, Bedrock includes several built-in model evaluation modes. This lets you run standardized tests on different models, either automatically with algorithms or manually with human reviewers. These model evaluations divide into two categories, automatic and human evaluation. Under automatic, we have programmatic, which uses predefined datasets and metrics to score model outputs, and LLM as a judge, where another model automatically scores outputs on quality or safety metrics simulating human judgment at high speed and low cost. Under human evaluation, it involves real people rating the model outputs. You can use your own team or an AWS Managed workforce. Now, in the last two videos, we discussed how AI algorithms and model evaluation work. Now, if AI can evaluate models on its own, why is human evaluation still a part of the process? Let's find out. AI systems can evaluate massive data sets quickly and consistently, delivering high speed and scale that humans simply can't match. But automation has its limits. It often misses subtle aspects like tone, context, and cultural sensitivity. That's where human evaluation steps in. Humans can interpret intent, assess creativity, and ensure outputs align with the ethical standards and real-world expectations. Beyond accuracy, human reviewers help detect bias, maintain brand consistency, and build user trust by ensuring the AI-generated content reflects organizational values. And finally, before an AI model is deployed, human evaluation provides the crucial last layer of validation, confirming that the model's behavior is not only accurate and safe, but also compliant with business and regulatory requirements. Now let's walk through how human evaluation works in Amazon Bedrock. We begin with prompt dataset stored in S3. This file includes your test inputs and optionally reference outputs that represents the ideal responses. Next, Bedrock identifies the inference source. At this stage, you choose how responses will be obtained. Select a foundation model if you want Bedrock to generate new responses for every prompt, or choose existing responses if you already have generated model outputs stored. This setup allows you to evaluate both fresh generations and previously saved results depending on your experiment needs. Once the inference source is finalized, Bedrock either produces or retrieves responses for each input prompt. Then it stores all scores, logs, and summary reports automatically to S3 output location. This becomes your evaluation dataset. Next, these responses are sent to human reviewers, either AWS Managed workforce or your own custom work team through Bedrock's integrated workflow. Here, evaluators score and annotate each output based on predefined criteria such as clarity, tone, factual accuracy, and bias. Bedrock manages this process securely using its human workforce integration, ensuring consistent evaluation standards. You can then access detailed feedback and aggregated metrics directly from Bedrock console or S3 reports, completing the human evaluation cycle. Now, let's move on to the hands-on demo. I'm currently in the AWS Management console. First, we will create an S3 bucket to store both the input data and the evaluation results for Bedrock. Search for S3 and select it. Click Create Bucket. Make sure you're in North Virginia region. Under the bucket name, enter a name like Human Evaluation Data 2025. Scroll down and click Create Bucket. Next, select the bucket you just created. Drag and drop the input file, scroll down and click Upload. Once it's uploaded, click Close. The input file has 3 simple prompts summarizing text about the Amazon Bedrock, explaining a concept such as what a token is in LLMs, and write a simple Python function to reverse a string. Next, to store the evaluation results, go back to the S3 console and click Create a folder. Enter a folder name like Outputs, scroll down and click Create Folder. When creating a model evaluation job using Amazon Bedrock console, you need to specify a CORS configuration on your S3 bucket. CORS, or cross-origin resource sharing, lets the Bedrock service securely access your bucket from different origins. So to set it up, go to Permissions tab of your S3 bucket, scroll down to CORS and click Edit. Paste the JSON configuration. This provides the necessary permissions for Bedrock to read and write the evaluation results. After pasting the configuration, click Save Changes. Now your S3 bucket is ready to securely store and allow access to the evaluation job results. You can find the CORS JSON configuration in the description below for reference. Now in a new tab, search for Bedrock in the search bar and select it from the results. In the left navigation, under SS, select Evaluations. Under Human, choose AWS Managed Work Team. Start by entering a unique evaluation name. This helps you identify your evaluation job within your AWS account and region. You can use letters, numbers, hyphens, or underscores up to 50 characters. Optionally, you can add a description here. This is a short name explaining what this evaluation is for. It helps teams and auditors understand the purpose of your evaluation later. You can also add tags, which is a key value pairs that help organize and track AWS resources. Tags are useful for cost allocation or grouping related projects. This is where you define who will actually perform the human evaluations. Amazon Bedrock provides 2 options. You can either use AWS Managed Workforce or integrate your own private work team. For AWS Managed Workforce, enter an email address where AWS can reach out to your organization. After submission, an AWS representative will contact you to finalize your evaluation setup and discuss scope, pricing, and timeline. Provide a primary contact person name. This is the person will AWS reach out to for coordination. Enter a valid phone number so the AWS team can confirm details quickly. Here, you select the type of task you want the human evaluators to perform. Amazon Bedrock provides several built-in options. General text generation for evaluation open-ended responses like chatbot or creative writing outputs. Text summarization for judging how well a model condenses content while preserving meaning. Question and answer for assessing factual correctness and clarity in Q&A style responses. Text classification for evaluating category-based outputs such as sentiment or topic labeling. And custom, if your use case doesn't fit into standard categories, you can define your own evaluation criteria and workflow. Selecting the right task type ensures the human reviewers see the correct format and scoring interface for your evaluation scenario. Next, select the expertise level or domain of the evaluators. The AWS Managed Workforce includes professionals with specialized backgrounds in areas such as coding, essay analysis, creative writing, and STEM disciplines. Choosing the right expertise ensures more accurate and context-aware evaluations. And the number of prompts? This defines how many prompts or examples you plan to include in your human evaluation job. AWS uses this to estimate the workload and schedule appropriately. Once all the fields are filled, you can go ahead and click Create. This will send your request to AWS and we will receive a confirmation email shortly after. The AWS evaluation team will then reach out to you to coordinate the human evaluation, including details like timelines, deliverables, and pricing. But since we are doing this as a demo and not an actual business request, we don't have details like business email address right now. So instead of submitting this form, let's cancel here and move forward with creating our own work team instead. First, give your evaluation a clear and a unique name. For example, Human Evaluation 2025. You can also add a short description, something like internal review of modal responses for quality and accuracy. Tags are optional, so you can skip them unless you are organizing or tracking multiple projects. Click Next to go to Setup Evaluation page. Here, we will select the inference source. There are two ways to do this. You can either use one of the pre-trained models available in Amazon Bedrock or import your own inference responses if the model outputs have already been generated externally. In this demo, we will use Bedrock Foundation models, selecting the Amazon Nova Micro for evaluation. You can adjust the inference configuration if needed, and once done, click Apply to proceed. You can add up to 2 inference sources, but for this walkthrough, we will just use one. Now we come to the task type. As discussed earlier, this defines the kind of behavior or capability you want to evaluate. I'm choosing general text generation. Here we define what exactly humans will judge. Each metric is a quality dimension like coherence, toxicity, or accuracy. For each metric, you can enter a description explaining what it measures. Choose a rating method such as thumbs up or down or scale 1 to 5. For example, coherence measures how logically the text flows. Toxicity checks for harmful or offensive languages. Accuracy verifies whether the content is factually correct. I will choose thumbs up or down rating for each. Next, we'll select the input data for the evaluation. This dataset contains the prompts that will send to the model. So under choose a prompt dataset, click Browse S3, then select the bucket you created earlier, select the input file and click Choose. Similarly, we specify an output location where Bedrock will save the human evaluation results once the job completes. Under evaluation results, click Browse S3, select the bucket, choose the appropriate folder, for example, outputs, and click Choose. If your organization uses its own encryption keys, you can provide a custom AWS key here. Otherwise, Bedrock encrypts the data automatically with a managed key. Next, Bedrock needs permissions to access your datasets and write evaluation results to S3. You can either let Bedrock create a new role automatically or select an existing role with the right permissions. I'll choose Create a New Role for this demo. Once everything looks good, click Next. Under Setup Workteam page, choose whether you want to create a new workforce for this evaluation or reuse one if you already have one. Let's create a new work team. Next, enter your organization name. This is where your workers will see on their invite. For example, ImTechnos. Then add a contact email address. This is where Bedrock sends worker questions or task notifications. Use a shared inbox, not a personal email, so someone is always available to respond quickly. Let's say support@imtechnos.com. Now give your team a name, something clear and descriptive like model reviewers. Now here is where you add the worker email addresses. Type or paste them separated by commas. For example, alex@imtechnos.com and rina@imtechnos.com. Next, decide how many people should review each model output. By default, it's 1 worker per prompt. If you want more reliable judgments, increase it to 2 workers. That's usually for majority voting. Keep it at 1 if you're just testing or want to save time and cost. You'll also see an info note about invitations. It explains that new workers receive an automatic invite while existing ones don't. So be sure to notify them separately if needed. Finally, this section defines how Amazon Bedrock manages the human workforce. It gives Bedrock the permissions it needs to coordinate the human review workflow, like assigning evaluation tasks, tracking progress, and collecting results securely. You can either create a new role or use an existing one. In this walkthrough, we are creating a new role. So with this option selected, click Next. Under Provide Instructions page, this is where you tell your reviewers exactly how to perform the evaluation, like what each metric means, how to use the rating tools, and what a good or bad response looks like. You can edit the instructions here or add links if required. Once your instructions looks good, click next to move on to the final step. Here, you will see the summary of everything we have set up so far. Just give a quick review, and once you are ready, hit create to start your human evaluation job. The job will take a short while to initialize and complete. After it finishes, you can open the job details page to review all the related information. Then head over to the S3 bucket where the evaluation outputs are stored. Simply open the bucket, follow the path for this job, and download the generated results. Here is the dataset we just downloaded. For one of the prompts, you can clearly see the input prompt we submitted along with the model's generated response. This response, where the human evaluators will assess for accuracy, clarity, and alignment with the instruction. This way, you can easily run multiple models with different prompts, compare their output side by side, and choose the one that best fits your use case. Now, going back to Amazon Bedrock, here is the link used for human evaluation. Now, opening in a new tab, since the users are not active, I cannot log in into this portal. Normally, each user would receive a sign-up link, temporary credentials, and instructions to log in. Once they sign in, they can review the pending tasks, submit their evaluations, and complete all assigned review work. Now, as a part of cleanup, let's remove all the resources we created during this demo. First, go to S3 bucket. Open the bucket you used for input dataset and output results. Select the files and the folders and click delete. Enter the confirmation prompt when requested and complete the deletion. Now click close. If the bucket itself is no longer needed, go back to the bucket list. Select and copy the bucket name and click delete. Enter the bucket name and confirm the deletion. Next, go to Amazon Cognito. A dedicated Cognito user pool was created automatically for this evaluation. Under user pools, find and select the pool associated with your work team and click delete. Enable the necessary options, provide the confirmation text, and complete the deletion. Then head over to the Amazon SageMaker AI. In the left navigation, under the ground truth, select labeling workforces. Under private tab, select private teams and click delete. Now click delete workforce and confirm the same. Lastly, return to the Amazon Bedrock and select the evaluation job and then delete it. If the delete option is not enabled, stop the job first and then delete it. If the job takes more than an hour to change its status, like you can see for one of my previous jobs, you can simply raise a request with AWS for resolution. And that completes the full cleanup for our human evaluation setup. That's it for today. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and happy learning.